let's now go across to markets and take a look at how markets are opening. Remember, they've just got this big news, good news with the RBI cutting a key rate.
I think you just focus on banks, PSU banks, and you'll basically be able to figure out what's going on in terms of the story. It's SBI, it's PNB, it's Bank of Baroda, the large public sector banks. Canara Bank, Bank of India. Go down the list and you'd find more names there which are doing very well. And then maybe you'd want to look at BOB, of course. Amongst PSUs, what we've put out so far is doing the best. BOI on your screen, Canara Bank, Allahabad Bank, Syndicate Bank, and you can go down and there are many, many names there. Dena Bank on your screen. So all looking good. Private sector banks, so IndusInd Bank, Kotak Bank, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank. Let's take a look at those, at least the big ones first. So ICICI at 3% plus. Kotak is up 2.6, 2.7%. And you got, I think, others like Yes, etc. HDFC Bank is up 2%, nearly 2%. I mean, private sector banks, right before the budget, on the day of the budget and after the budget have had a decent run-up. So you've got to keep that in perspective. Axis, for example, was down yesterday, but otherwise has been rallying non-stop now. 646 is where that is trading at this stage. 340 off odd on the Sensex right now, about 100 points on the Nifty is what you've got. So this is looking pretty good for now. IBREL, Piramal Enterprises are some of the other names which are starting higher. GMDC, Bank of Baroda, and Indian Bank, and I think the most active parts of the market are coming up on your screen now, and I think that makes sense. 90 points, a little bit of climb down on the Nifty, and about 300 points on the Sensex is what you've got at this stage. DLF 3%, Corporation Bank, Tata Sponge, got IVRCL and others all. Anantraj is up 3%, 47 on JBF Industries and Mahindra Holidays, MBL Infra, DCB Bank. So those are the names which are looking strong and super strong at this stage. I don't know if you've got Dr. Soumyakanti Ghosh still with us on the phone line. Okay, I think we have him. Dr. Ghosh, I was discussing the monetary policy.
All right, so markets there, Sensex hitting 30,000 for the first time. Let's go across to Hina for more. Hina, markets rejoicing with that great news.
Well, absolutely. It was something that markets clearly have been waiting for quite some time now. One big trigger and there is going to be a big rally. Something of the sort that we saw today. Yesterday, for the first time, Nifty had hit 9,000 level, and we did indicate that there is this buzz going around that since the budget is over now, and RBI had mentioned that after the budget there may be some sort of a decision as far as any particular rate cut or is concerned or not. And finally, today morning, it did come in as a big surprise. A 25 basis points cut. RBI has cut repo rate by about 25 basis points, which has certainly come in as a big positive for all the banking names, and that is the reason why today morning at the opening, all the banking names are clearly in a flying gear. Sensex, as you mentioned, crossed 30,000 level for the first time in the opening itself, though it has now come down a little bit as we speak right now. Nifty also opened above 9,100 for the first time ever. So certainly this has been one trigger that even the markets, the investors have been waiting for quite some time. The key reason that RBI has given for this particular rate cut that we have seen is the kind of announcements of structural reforms in the budget, which are indicative of a positive, economic scenario going ahead from here on. And also another key thing that the RBI mentioned in its press release is the GDP number. Remember, the GDP data was revised by the Central Statistics Organization, which projected the current, year's growth rate at about 7.4%, which really puzzled many, but RBI now has said that indicates a robust economy and is now looking forward to better growth numbers going ahead from here on. Another critical thing that RBI mentioned in its release was that the objectives of both RBI and the government appear to be, of the same, because remember, RBI and government together have, in fact, come together for an agreement as far as the new monetary policy framework is concerned. They both have agreed that, the inflation should be around 4% 4% by March 2017. So that is the reason why we have seen this surprise rate cut coming, something which clearly not everyone expected in the market and elsewhere. But this surprise, and RBI also, remember, the first surprise rate cut we saw on 15th of January, which clearly led to this big rally that we saw in the market starting 15th of January, which continued for about 9-10 days or so. And today also it appears to be like the beginning of another rally that we have seen coming in because of a new rate cut by RBI.